Hey, good evening, guys and gals. Blitzball Champs back, bringing forth a brand new video once again here on the U to the Tube. So, kind of wanted to do another Carolina Panthers update video with transactions, but also they have released their unofficial depth chart. So, I kind of wanted to talk about that and just kind of give my thoughts on it as well, because I thought it was really interesting. But let's get started with with some of the transactions that have happened. So we now have three tight ends now, as Carolina has re-signed tight end Colin Thompson to the active roster. So he's actually on the active roster. We got three tight ends now. Um, I think this is a good move because apparently Ian Thomas has been dealing with an injury. I think it was like a foot injury of some sort, but it's nothing major according to the reports. But still, like, you know, he was mainly the number one guy. But I'm glad that they went ahead and did this, to have some more depth at the tight end position, especially after we let go of Tamarick Hemingway. That was one of the other tight ends that we had, and of course Seth Devolve let him go as well. So I'm glad they did this. I think this was a good move. So we got three tight ends. I think this was good, but and with that being done, they have placed wide receiver Keith Kirkwood on the injury reserve list, the reserve injured list. So we got that going on. And God, thank God, they did re-sign Effie Obata, Matt Kasky, and Kenny Thompson. Or excuse me, Kenny Robinson. Sorry about that. Kenny Robinson. To their Kasky and Robinson got signed to the practice squad, and Effie Obata got signed to the active roster, and have put Eli Apple on the reserve injured list. So I guess that probably explains why we also picked up Russell Douglas from who used to play for Philly. So if Eli Apple's not ready to go, but I'm really really thankful that Effie Obata did get re-signed because I like the guy. I felt like he deserves a shot, and I think if he just gets that opportunity, he could be great. So thank you, Carolina Panthers, for bringing him back, and also for safety Kenny Robinson. Was one of our draft picks. Very very thankful for bringing him back because he's also a hybrid as well. He can play. I believe he can also play some nickel or some cornerback positions as well. So definitely glad they did that with Kenny Robinson. And Matt Kasky, I mean, hey, I have no problem having depth on the offensive line, so I'm cool with it. But very, very, very happy that they re-signed Effie Obata because I think he deserves to be there. I think he deserves a shot, and I think if given the opportunity, he'll do well. So very, very good. Um, So with Eli Apple, they say that he would be eligible to rejoin the active roster after 3 weeks if Carolina chooses to make that decision. Eli Apple's been dealing with ankle, foot, and hamstring injuries, so it's not looking too good for him. There's Fans have already had mixed opinions about Eli Apple on whether he's a good fit or not. So we'll see how things go with his health going forward. But anyway, so that's it for the transactions. Let's look let's look at what this unofficial depth chart looks like. So I got a few of the pages up, and I'll also link these into the description box. This is from their team website. So let's start off looking at the offense. So of course, It's obvious Teddy Bridgewater's the starting quarterback. They have both Will Greer and PJ Walker listed together as second. So that just confirms once again that, you know, it's still undetermined yet. It's still undetermined yet who will be that backup. And it might be a week by week sort of thing. You know, I thought PJ Walker had the edge personally, but I mean, if they both are listed in that column, who knows who's going to emerge as the backup to Teddy Bridgewater? So something to keep an eye on. Something to keep an eye on. For running back, of course, starters Christian McCaffrey. The backup Mike Davis, the third string Trenton Cannon. Um, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. They got a veteran presence in Mike Davis, and they like what they saw with Trenton Cannon. So I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with that. Of course, that fullback Alex Arma, easy position for him. Um, let's look at the wide receivers. So of course the starting two wide receivers that they got, left side DJ Moore, right side Robbie Anderson. Looking at the left side, uh, second string is Curtis Samuel, who will most likely be used in the slot, and Brandon Zylstra. And then back on the right side, backing up Robbie Anderson, Seth Roberts and Pharaoh Cooper. So I expect to see Curtis Samuel a lot. Um, Seth Roberts is going to depend on his health, but hopefully he'll be good to go. But I expect to see a lot of Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson on the field. So I think those are the big three that have the opportunity to make the biggest amount of noise in the passing game. So really, really hope that works out. DJ Moore has improved over the years since his rookie year, so he's really established himself. And Robbie Anderson, was pretty much the Jets' best receiver, and he's got some good numbers, and I think he can really shine in Carolina. So should be good. Should be good. I like what we have offensive weapons wise. Okay, so let's look at the offensive line. So it looks like this. Left tackle Russell Okung with Greg Little backing him up. Left guard Dennis Daly. Center Matt Paradis with Tyler Larson backing him up. Right guard John Miller with Michael Schofield backing him up. And right tackle Taylor Moton with Trent Scott backing him up. This is interesting. Michael Schofield doesn't get the starting spot. That's interesting. Um, but I think we might see Michael Schofield mainly because according to a report, Dennis Daly has been dealing with an ankle injury, and with Dennis Daly at that left guard spot, Michael Schofield could potentially get that spot if Dennis Daly is not ready to go uh, this Sunday. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, ever since they moved Dennis Daly from tackle to guard, he has done well. So I think throwing in Schofield in there just in case, I don't think it'll be bad. I don't think it'll be bad. But it's interesting that they had Dennis Daly as the starter. Hopefully he'll be okay to go. But I don't know. I thought that was intriguing. I would have thought Michael Schofield, being the veteran, would have gotten the start. But hey, if Dennis Daly's been doing good, he's been doing good. So hey, I don't like I said, I don't know much about John Miller. So hopefully this goes well. Like I said, Taylor Moton, Matt Paradis, those two are familiar with the offensive line, so they have the experience with this scheme. So I just hope the chemistry on this O line really really goes well, because if they have good chemistry and work together, they can run block, they can pass block, they can do well. I'm not gonna say right now that they are top 10 offensive line potential. I can't say that yet without really seeing what they can do. We'll see how they do, but I cannot say on paper that they're a top 10 offensive line in the NFL. I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that with confidence. I think I have to see how they pan out for maybe the first 4 or 5 weeks before I can really say that. Um, but yeah, I just hope that the chemistry works out with this O line. But yeah, just a quick review. Russell Okung at left tackle, Dennis Staley at left guard, Matt Paradis at center, John Miller at right guard, Taylor Moton at right tackle. Um, for the tight ends, they got Chris Manhertz at the number one spot. This is interesting. This is interesting. Um, I know Ian Thomas, which is at the second spot, and Colin Thompson's at the third. But I still expect if Ian Thomas is good to go, because I know he's dealing with a foot injury. It was like a foot or some sort of foot injury. Um, I was expecting to see some two tight end sets, but if not, I mean, I'm sure they'll get creative. I mean, Joe Brady, from what I've heard, has a very fast paced, creative offensive style. So I'm I'm very intrigued to see how things go with this. Chris Manhertz is mainly a blocking tight end. So if anything, I hope Ian Thomas will be good to go by Sunday. And that's pretty much the offense. Uh, pretty pretty intriguing, pretty interesting, but we'll see what happens. I like some of the things they got going here. Main thing that I'm concerned with is the chemistry of the O line. That's the main thing. If the O line can do well, I feel like the whole entire offense will do well. All right, let's move on to the defense, shall we? So for the defensive line, so for left defensive end, we got Spider Man, Brian Burns, um, with Marquise Haynes backing him up and Sharif Miller at the third string. Of course, we got K1 Short, the left defensive tackle position with Zach Kerr backing him up. Derek Brown on the right defensive tackle position with Bravion Roy backing him up. Makes sense. Um, for the right defensive end, we got YGM, Utura Gross Matos. Still don't think I'm saying that right. Please forgive me. Stephen Weatherly backing him up. Effie Obata in the third. Okay. So, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say I like this defensive line starting lineup. I do. I do. You got a lot of young talent on this defensive line. With pretty much K1 Short, I believe, being the oldest one on that defensive line at I think 31 years of age. You got a lot of young talent on this D line, and to be honest with you, I like it. I like it. Brian Burns had a good rookie year. You know, Derek Brown, you know, came into the draft as one of the top defensive tackles, and YGM, like, size and athleticism is there. Like, I'm excited for this D line. I really am. And I think with Stephen Weatherly is another veteran. Same with Zach Kerr, Bravion Roy, one of our draft picks, Marquise Haynes, who has some experience with this team, Effie Obata, we've seen how he's done. I like this D line. I think we got some really good depth at D line. I think the D line is going to surprise a lot of people. I'm hoping. I'm really, really hoping. But I like this D line. I really do. Keep an eye on this D line. I think some folks are really gonna break out from this D line. You know, I like this D line. I really do. I got high hopes for this D line. Let's look at the linebackers. So, left outside linebacker Shaq Thompson with Julian Stanford as his backup. Middle linebacker to Tahir Whitehead with Madarius Taylor backing him up. And then this is interesting for the right outside linebacker. They got both Jermaine Carter and Jeremy Chin on there. So I guess it's safe to say we're gonna see some rotations, some different packages involving these two. Of course, Jeremy Chin, is a hybrid. Can play the nickel, can play the safety position, cornerback position. He can play multiple positions, but it looks like this is going to be his role. Now, whether we see him, you know, as more of a D back position remains to be seen. But it looks like he's going to be you know, mainly a nickel. That's what it's looking like, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Jermaine Carter is another one that I still just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. But I mean, I hope Jermaine Carter can do well. I just don't know. I just I don't know if he's. I mean, has he had a good camp or whatnot? Somebody tell me what y'all think of Jermaine Carter, because I don't know. He's not one that I could just up and say, "Oh my goodness, I think he's excellent." You know what I mean? So I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But but yeah, this'll this'll be interesting. Jeremy Chin at the linebacker, outside linebacker position. The nickel. Are we going to see him play some safety? I don't know, but this is interesting. This is interesting. So something to keep an eye on. And there's already a lot of hype for Jeremy Chin. So yeah, keep an eye on him. All right, now let's get into the defensive backs. So left side cornerback Dante Jackson backed up by Corn Elder. Right side cornerback Troy Pride Jr. being backed up by Rasul Douglas, and at the third string Stanley Thomas Oliver the third. Wow. So Troy Pride Jr. is getting the start over Rasul. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense. They just brought in Rasul Douglas. But wow, Troy Pride Jr. is going to get the start. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know, y'all. Uh, I, uh, I don't know, y'all. Uh, Dante Jackson at the one, Troy Pride Jr. at the two. I don't know. I don't know. Ugh. One of my biggest worries about the Carolina defense is the cornerbacks position. I just I just really hope Dante Jackson can get his head in the game and can improve and just really bring his A game. And like I said, Troy Pride Jr. He was one of our draft picks. At the same time, he's a rookie, so we'll see. We'll see. I just ugh. ugh, I just don't know. I can't speak highly of this. I just can't. Uh, and then for safeties, Justin Burst starting strong safety with Sam Franklin as the backup. And then starting free safety, Trey Boston with Jeremy Chin as the backup and Hartsfield as the third string. Okay, well, this sort of makes sense. This makes sense. Um, we'll have to see how Justin Burst does. I'm not as concerned for the safeties as I am for the cornerbacks, to be honest with you. So my thoughts with that still stand there. And then moving on to special teams. So our kicker Joey Sly, punter Joseph Charlton, kickoff of course Joey Sly, holder Joseph Charlton. For punt return, Pharaoh Cooper with DJ Moore being a backup. For kickoff returners, Pharaoh Cooper and Trenton Cannon, so first and second. And of course, long snapper, as usual, Mr. J.J. Jansen. Oh, man. So that's the released unofficial depth chart for the Carolina Panthers 2020 roster. Offense, I like for the most part. Defense, I'm high on the D line. I'm intrigued with the linebackers. Secondary, we'll see. That's all I can say about the secondary. It's hard for me right now to be high on the secondary. It's really hard for me. I really hope Jeremy Chin is as good as he's hyped up to be. I really do. Same with Troy Pride Jr. And I hope Dante Jackson can get his head in the game. Otherwise, this secondary is going to be in trouble, even come week one. So, yeah. But that's all that I have for this. And also stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a video of my preview for week one as the Carolina Panthers open at home against the Las Vegas Raiders, my dad's favorite team. So that should be good. But yeah, let me know what y'all's thoughts are. What do y'all think about this depth chart? Do y'all like it? Do y'all hate it? What changes would you make? Offense, defense, special teams. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about the recent transactions? But yeah, that's all for now. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss a video. Thank y'all so much for watching. This is Blitzball Champ signing off. God bless, and I will see y'all in the next video.